Hi everybody, welcome to another chat with Rachel. I'm here today to talk about an experience I had judging a mock trial competition here in Cleveland. When I was in law school, I was on our mock trial team, and it was a fun experience for me because I had no idea what I was doing. Fish out of water. A lot of people had at least some experience in their undergrad or at some point with the trial tactics and being in a courtroom, and I was brand new. And you learn fast. When you're in the moment, when you're immersed, you learn really fast. And I remember working with my trial team to come up with our best arguments, to work on our presentation, to work on making our story simple and believable. And it was a really fun time, very high energy, and just a great experience. And now I'm on the other end of it. I'm no longer on a mock trial team. I am actually judging the very same teams that I once competed against. And I watched this really incredible trial last weekend. And I had a few items that I wanted to point out about how to really make a trial go smoothly. Now, there's a lot to this, and I'm just going to talk about a few things. But what it comes down to most is knowing your facts and knowing your story. What is the story you're trying to tell the jury? So you have a theme that you can bring all of the facts into in a way that makes everything make more sense. Themes aren't just catchy little sayings, but they are also mechanisms for a juror who's never heard any of the material before to frame up all the evidence that's coming out through testimony. Next is to really understand your facts. So yes, you have your theme, you have your theory of the case, this is what happened. Now you need to know all those little details. So knowing the details is easier said than done, but one thing I like to do is to actually list out what's good for you, what's okay for you, and what hurts you. The trial I got to watch, there were a few moments where the defense team tried to keep out certain evidence that, in my opinion, actually helped them. And it was very confusing to see them object to items that, in my opinion, should have stayed in. Even if it didn't apply to their story directly, it didn't hurt them. And if anything, it could just be something that takes it to the next level or, can be woven into your story. Lastly, don't leave any missing items. If one side makes an argument that their story is that the victim was hit on the back of the head and that's how they died, and there's evidence of a wound on the back of the head, you don't want to just come up with an alternative kind of death, that he died from an overdose or he died from something else. You also need to explain why that hit on the back of the head that the prosecution claims killed him wasn't going to be enough to cause that injury. What caused that person to have an injury at the back of the head? The more of a story you can explain to the jury, the more likely you are to win. Because at the end of the day, the jury, the one who's looking at the facts and deciding what they mean, what they're waiting for is a story that makes the most sense. So my 3 points that I think are a great way to start framing up a trial include: 1, having a theme that your facts fit into; 2, knowing all those details and facts and making sure that when you're objecting to items getting into evidence, that you're objecting to the ones that are going to hurt you, that you don't want to come into evidence, and not the ones that could potentially help you, even if you're not going to focus on them. And then lastly is really listening to the other side's story, because you need to have an explanation for why their story doesn't make sense. Not just an alternative theory, but an explanation for why what they said can't be true. All right, with that, I'll let you all go, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.